Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Mr. O.
and me, Banshee, and
special guest star,
Sassy.
Oh, Sassy.
Hi, Sassy. It's good for you to join us today for our show.
We will be interested in hearing your perspective.
Well,
so here we are.
Our modality message.
The monthly modality message.
The monthly modality message, which means it's Happy Birthday, Sagittarians.
Or as I was trying to say, the sun has moved into Sagittarius.
Well, I beat you to it.
Yes, you
Just to say Happy Birthday.
All right. So as you know, we do the modalities here. They're not exactly like your elemental associations. They're a little bit different. They're more about working energies and finding ways to express yourself or how you interact with people or what your superpower really is. So we start off with the Cardinal Modalities.
That's right.
Cardinal Modalities are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn.
And while you shuffle, let me talk about the Cardinals. My friends, the Cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Positives are... Ooh.
Thank you.
Positives are initiators. We get things done. We're active. We're quick. We drive. We are ambitious. We have drive. I'm sorry. We're ambitious. We do drive too, but, kind of wildly.
Sometimes even well.
Ambitious, vim and vigor. No, we are not slackers. Enthusiastic, a zest for life. We're clever and we want to win. There are some negatives though. I'll admit, okay. Sometimes we can be a bit domineering. We can be a little bit self-centered. We forget about others as we focus on our own stuff. And we often don't finish what we start. Guilty. Did you cut?
No, I wasn't sure if you had shuffled even.
I shuffled, but okay. I shuffled twice.
Well, then you can cut.
I will shuffle again and cut for you.
And you know, she almost blends into this material here, so.
All right, Cardinal signs. Let's see what we have for you. And remember, these readings are good for the entire Sagittarius season.
So when the sun moves into Capricorn, it'll be another set. All right, so the first card describes basically what the primary focus for this next time is. They're always right upright or no?
No.
That's right. Sorry, tends to forget.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to help out here because I'm a little bit further away now.
Okay, I can do that.
Fine. It's the Eight of Cups or Swords reversed. So the focus seems to be trying to maybe regain traction.
That's the Eight of Wands reversed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll let you carry on then.
Well, the Eight of Wands reversed basically for the primary focus is how to focus yourself, how to focus all of that energy that you have, because you have a lot of drive and energy to get things done, on the project you want. You're scattered all over the place, perhaps at the start of this Sagittarius season, and you got to find a way to pull everything back together again. Maybe also, right, Mr. O, that you are not getting, maybe you're not getting in contact with the people you need to. You're having trouble getting a hold of people.
Well, that might come up more in the next card, but I think the other way of looking at this too, the Eight of Wands reversed for the primary focus says you're not hitting your target. You're not hitting your goals. You're missing or your precision is off somehow, and you need to kind of find the focus for the focus.
Yes. So let's see, the second card is the role your interactions with others will play in the month ahead. Oh my, we have the Five of Cups.
And it's upright.
Well, that's interesting. So maybe others, that's where the disappointment is coming from. Or others will disappoint you. Which makes me feel, again, maybe you're having trouble connecting with the people you need to work on the project or goal
It almost makes it sound like maybe there's some sort of team project or something that is synthesizing different people's efforts, and your inability to communicate properly and or this feeling of the Five of Cups, you know, is maybe interfering with that there's doubt between you and others or others and you, or just feelings of unsatisfaction.
Sassy wants the love here. All right, so card 3 is the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead and how best can you achieve or tackle them. Well, it's the Emperor. Gosh, it's like a story here. It's the Emperor reversed.
Yeah. Yes, because once again, it sort of brings up some of these
why
same
don't you
concepts.
go ahead?
Well, you know, a good emperor, you know, can't do everything himself. He has people who help him. And the emperor seeks wise counsel and is served best by wise counsel. So this sort of looks like maybe some of that is frayed for some reason, that maybe, you know, your opportunities are stumbling a little bit because either you don't know how to express this to people or you don't feel people have your back in certain ways.
Well, you know, clearly the challenge that you face is trying to get everybody on the same page together, working together. You know, you need to be able to take charge. You feel you've lost control, and that's the challenge, how to regain control, how to make sure that what you want, you know, what you want from others, it's getting through to them, you know, and that you can get through to them. Maybe some people you haven't been able to reach. You know, remember, this is holiday season, right? And so there may be just a lot of things interfering with your flow here, and it's proving frustrating to you.
You know, just as a side note, you know, Thanksgiving, the American holiday of Thanksgiving, always falls during the Sagittarius season, pretty much. And, you know, when you think about Sagittarius and its sort of attempts to be correct philosophically and be worldly in the sense of travel or philosophy, this really is bothersome in a way when it doesn't quite hit.
And so how can you use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month? Cardinal
Fly
signs.
away. No.
Well, maybe not. All right, well, we'll talk about maybe ways we can turn this around. It's the Magician reversed. You have some challenges this time, the Sagittarius season. You know,
it almost feels like maybe whatever these goals are, there's something really seriously challenge them. You see it in most of the cards here. You're almost wondering if like maybe this is saying this is just not really the right time to press forward. You actually don't have the skill sets you need or the things you need, and that maybe you are possibly served by putting this off.
You know, you're not going to get there. Don't try to manipulate others. Maybe it's also important that, you know, you want something, you want to manifest something, but you don't have the skills, the tools, the necessary things to do it on your own. You need these other people. And so in order to bring them back into the loop, maybe it's time to look after what they need. Maybe it's time to look after their needs. Maybe there's something they're resentful about, you know, in the process of working with you, and you have to meet them halfway. I'm almost wondering here, you know, if that's part of the problem, because one of your negative superpowers is the fact that you can be too domineering and that you forget about others along the way. And so if you're forgetting about others and only focusing on your wants and needs, maybe that's why people are not connecting with you.
Well, it could be that the Magician reversed is signifying that your superpower really is to sort of sit back and let other people work some of this out for themselves too, that maybe your energies are not really going to be helpful in bringing people together or focusing towards the project.
Oh boy, fire signs, cardinal signs. Let's take a look at what's going on here from the beginning. So basically, the primary focus is trying to regain your focus, regain that movement forward instead of sputtering. Also pulling people together who seem to be, scattered, and you're not able to connect with them. You're not even able to connect them with the goal they're supposed to be working on with you.
And this kind of shows in the second card then, the Five of Cups, because what it may be indicating is that your interactions with people over all of this is saying some are going to stay, some are going to leave.
Yeah, I didn't talk much about the Five of Cups in the beginning, but, I feel here that the role others will play is they're disappointed about something. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They don't realize there's still something they have, to offer and that you need. Maybe, and they're just not connecting. They feel disappointed. Maybe they feel disenfranchised in some way, and they're focusing on that as opposed to, working with you.
So truly, this is an opportunity because the Emperor reversed. The Emperor normally does like to keep really in check with those people around him that they talk and associate with. And so this is that opportunity, is to regain the Emperor's better position in having the ear of people and having their ear too, being able to communicate and work with each other towards, an honest thing.
Good point. I feel here the Emperor, when he's upright, he's very benevolent. He's caring about the people, that he's delegating things to. I think, in this case with him reversed, again, you might have been pushing people too hard, pushing them past their limits, and maybe not considering their concerns, their needs, their share in this project. And so you need to pull it all back together and show, you do care, that this is important for all, and it will benefit all in the long term.
And is that why we have the Magician there? Yeah.
Well, I feel like, how can you use your superpowers to best advantage is by definitely, how do I want to say this? I actually think it's an anti-power we're dealing with here. And I think that basically the best way you can work through this is to not be this magician. Be the person who is not so focused on their own needs and desires that that people are going to feel they're being manipulated and taken advantage of in order for you to achieve your goals. Make sure you're being inclusive. Make sure you're being the good Emperor. I almost feel these two cards, the Emperor and the Magician reversed, really play together here, and you got to not be that. You have to turn this around and show people you care, you value what they do, and make sure they get credit and a stake in this project or goal.
So as the Magician might say, now for my next trick, but maybe you don't want to say that.
That's what we have for the cardinal signs. Oh my goodness. Good luck to you.
So now we are on to the fixed signs.
The fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
All right.
Well, I'll speak for
the
fixed signs here gladly. They have some great positive qualities. They're steady. They're stable. They're determined as heck. They're resolute. They forge ahead calmly, working on objectives. Remembers those who've helped them. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful, and they have no wasted motions. Now, what could be the dark side?
The dark side.
With the fixed signs, I mentioned that we're too domineering and we forget about others. Well, the darn, fixed signs, they're stubborn. They're my way or the highway kind of thinking. They tend to get stuck in their ways and they believe they are always right.
Don't forget.
I'll shuffle. Go ahead, stand up for your fixed-sightedness.
I did the shuffle.
Well, we both shuffled the last time.
Well, I'm thinking of shuffling on the card sense.
Okay. Okay. Okay, one more for you. Fixed signs. We want you to have a good month. Go ahead. All right.
Card 1, what is the overall focus for the fixed signs?
I can take it. It's the Fool upright.
All right.
Nice.
Take a chance.
Hey, that's the focus. Take a risk, take a chance, take a gamble. Do something out of the ordinary.
Luck
Take
seems
a
to
risk.
favor.
Yeah, it's a great thing to have a relationship with uncertainty, a positive relationship with uncertainty. We never know if we're going to be successful with something until we try.
A lot of this also looks to like just the idea of feeling very comfortable with trusting the universe is working for you.
There you go. So card 2 is the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. And we have the 9 of Wands upright. Oh, that's interesting. The role your interactions with others will have in the month ahead. Well, I could go a couple of ways on this. Fixed signs. First off, I could say that, be prepared for anything where others are concerned. Just be prepared, for, let's say, for example, if they're recalcitrant to buy in on the risk you want to take, or if they're all in on it, I would just say good. But the bottom line is, be prepared. Be prepared by also communicating effectively with people, showing them that you trust that things are going to turn out okay. Make them believe in you so they're willing to fight for you.
Well, there's another way that I'm looking at this, and that idea is that your interactions with others may feel like you will either have to take the lead with whatever is going on between everybody, or that you will somehow be maneuvered into that position for either reasons good or bad or expected or unexpected. But it's really something you can do. You should probably lead the way here. Your interaction should lead you to lead the way in whatever team dynamics or people dynamics are going on. So whether it's co-workers or side projects or things to do in your neighborhood or your church or things like that, don't be surprised if you seem to be the one who steps up.
Well, I think we're going to digress on that one a little bit here. I do know it's your interactions with others. So maybe this is also saying that, you have to show you have to pull your team together, and this is a person who's getting all their ducks in a row and ready for whatever they're going to face. So maybe what this is saying is, with this risk that you want to take, you need to enlist the help of others in some way.
Okay, I'll go with that too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. All right. So the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead. Wow, these readings are pretty good so far, This is the Hierophant reversed. I think they just kind of all fit together in a sort of way here, because here we have taking in a way an unorthodox approach or a risk, doing something that's risky. And here we have, for sure, the challenge or opportunity being taking an unorthodox approach, looking at things differently.
Yeah, this is really clearly saying that you need to have an out-of-box thinking on this, or you need to, and the first card said, expect the unexpected. Maybe this is saying when that happens, you should use it rather than say, no, this isn't the way it should be. You should realize that maybe that is something you can work with.
Be ready to pivot. Your mindset when necessary, and you probably would succeed. I think this just fits together incredibly nicely here. So let's move on to how can you use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month. Again, is this going to be an anti-power? It's the Two of Cups reversed. Jeez. Well, I don't know what to say here.
Maybe you're dealing with people who don't necessarily like each other or like their dynamics, but they know they have to work together. And maybe this could be saying you'll have to do that. You'll have to find a way to bring people together that are not really good at being a natural partner, or you'll have to find ways to achieve harmony and trust in whatever this grouping is or is about.
Well, I think one way is for certain here. We talked about some flexibility here in thinking, and being able to pivot. And that may be very important here in the ultimate outcome. Because if people don't like your approach to this, they may walk away. That's the bottom line here. And so, don't get stuck in your ways. Again, I'm almost looking at the anti-power aspects of your superpower and just warning you that you shouldn't allow yourself to get stuck in your ways or be stubborn in your attitude or approach. Maybe some of these ways that you should be thinking differently might come from the people around you. And if you aren't listening, then you could lose your support.
Very interesting. So sometimes in achieving harmony, you have to give a little bit of credence to what those irritants may be, because there may be some kernels of truth that still need to go into the mix.
So it's an interesting reading. And when we say how you can use your modality superpowers, and then we get a negative card in that position, we've done it twice now. I really do feel sometimes it calls upon the negative traits of your superpower and how you should not allow them to take the lead here, because otherwise it'll spell disaster.
So be ready to admit that you're not always right, or that at least in this particular situation you are, and be open and welcome to accepting other input or ideas or suggestions.
Wow, so let's take a look at this again, because this was, these three cards, and then we get thrown in the ringer here, are really fit together well. This is an opportunity for you to go on a new adventure of some sort, to venture out into unknown territory, to take a risk, to take a gamble, to do something unorthodox, and that maybe you really don't know what the outcome would be, but you're going to do it anyway.
Because you really do have a sense of trust here. You feel comfortable enough being able to do that. And so your interactions with others are saying, I want to lead the way here, or I want to show others how to lead the way.
Right. Or, you have to make sure you put your team in place.
Yeah.
And show everybody, too, at the same time that you are prepared. You are prepared for whatever comes out of this situation.
People are going to respect somebody who seems to be prepared to lead them rather than somebody that just says, I'll do it.
But being prepared does not mean to be so fixated on a particular plan that you can't think outside the box and pivot when necessary.
Pivots are good.
Pivots are good. And maybe also listening to others would be beneficial, because if they've had some good ideas that could, make it work and you're not listening, they may walk.
And Scorpios should especially pay attention to that.
Yes, no my way or the highway thinking. You are not always right.
Okay.
That's what we have for the fixed signs. Good
All
luck
right.
with
so
that.
Now we're going to wrap it up by going to the mutables. And
yes.
Our mutables are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And mutables go with the flow. They're adaptable and flexible. They're versatile, highly resourceful. They can change when necessary. It's quite easy to change for them. They can assume various personas. It's kind of like they're the chameleons of the Zodiac. They're well liked by others. They enjoy learning, playing fair, diplomacy, sharp, sympathetic. They can see below the surface. And they are selfless and quick to help others.
Well, but there are a few negatives that go along with that. You can only be so good. Sometimes you just try too hard to please, you mutable signs. You can't please everybody. And so it can make it come off as being a little bit wishy-washy. You're trying to please everybody, and sometimes there's no way to do that. You can be looked at as being inconsistent. And as a matter of fact, some people might think you're duplicitous because you're willing to go any way the wind blows. And you can stretch yourselves a little bit too thin to the breaking point.
Alrighty then. So for the mutables, what will be their focus for this 28 29-day period.
And of course, Sagittarius is in here, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius and Pisces. Well, what is that first one again, Mr. O?
The focus.
Yes, the focus, the primary focus. And it's the King of Cups reversed. Oh, are we going to get personal this time, maybe? I'm not sure, but something is making you feel sad and blue and perhaps having you act out a little bit. You know, you're not being very emotionally stable. I don't know, are you going through some holiday blues? It is before Christmas, but it's still that holiday season, you know, and a lot of people feel it before Christmas arrives.
Many of the mutables are characterized, certainly Pisces is, but, you know, their ability to be moody, to change moods and not be happy all the time. And this card could be indicating something along that realm, that the focus of the month sort of has you sort of in a little bit of a glummer mood. Maybe also too you feel that, you know, some people you've tried to help, you just can't seem to reach them. They're not resonating to you, and maybe that's bothersome to you on a personal level.
Yeah, you know, I think this is a time you need to, you know, restrain from making outbursts, any kind of drama, tantrums, etc., you know. Try to put your emotions in check. And let's see if this will come out as to what this is relating to. The role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. Well, it's a Two of Swords reversed.
Oh my.
So this may have to do with an important move or decision or choice that you have to make involving others, or that others more likely are making about you.
Which could explain why maybe, you know, the first card is there, you know, it sort of has some emotional tugs at your heart there a little bit.
Could you be getting some bad grades? This is grading season for students. Could you be getting, you know, pink slipped or a bad performance appraisal? Oftentimes there's end of the year performance appraisals that are done in workplaces. Something that's making you a little bit hot under the collar.
Well, I almost wonder if between the two cards, the unhappiness is because maybe somebody is sort of moving on without you. And that could be a relationship,
too.
But it could be other things besides that. It could be people who just sort of feel that their time with you is over for whatever reason. Things just don't seem to be working out. It could be a work situation even.
I was thinking, I wasn't leaning on romance, but I was going to add it in there. I want to see what the other cards might bring. So the opportunity or challenge you may face in this month ahead, and how best you can navigate them or tackle it. Whoa, wow. It's the Eight of Swords reverse. Upright, I'm sorry. You know, it almost feels like whatever is going on here with this decision or choice or move that others are making towards you has really kind of made you close off. You know, suddenly you feel like shattered in a way, I won't say in, you know, a horrible way, but in a way that's making you freeze up. You don't know what direction to take because you're not sure you can trust yourself right now.
But in another sense, this could be an opportunity to hold back a little bit, to sort of pull around you a little bit and try to get into the idea of whether or not this is really real or if somehow more of your perceptions are involved in here. Are you feeling trapped by the situation, or do you just feel that you just need to sort of sort it out and hold back until you get that sorted out?
You know, the King of Cups can be overly emotional, but also sometimes I feel they can't open their heart to love either. And so there could be that end of it here. And I can't help but wondering, seeing this card here, if the challenge is not to close yourself off, you know, to others emotionally at this time. You don't want to act out emotionally, but on the other hand, you don't want to close yourself off either emotionally.
Wow.
I know.
Quite interesting.
So, how can you use your superpowers to advantage this month, to best advantage? And, you know, everybody's gotten a negative card in this position pretty much. And you're no exception. You have the Ace of Swords reversed, mutables. I just think there's nothing to be gained right now, or you feel that way. You feel like even if you win, you lose, if that makes sense. It's like an empty victory, something that you feel has slipped by you. You can't seem to think your way out of this situation because
This is a hard one, because this is supposed to
off.
be the superpower, you know, and how it works to solve things.
Well, I know. The only way I can say is that even if you win, you lose. So I almost feel like you just got to kind of ride this one out. My best advice for you would be, even, I'm looking at the cardinal signs. I wanted to look at your mutables, is to try to ride this out. You're a person who goes with the flow. Sometimes you can't change what happened, but if you ride the flow out, you might be able to move yourself in a better position later. In other words, rocking the boat might not get you anywhere. Making that tantrum won't get you anywhere. But if you fluff off the bad report, but take it in stride and realize, let's say you had a bad job evaluation or report card. You take it in stride and you work harder to achieve better the next semester. Now you have to, you might be able to eventually achieve success.
I don't want to leave it on too much of a downer, but it may be that the mutables are in for at least this next period of a really substantial case of holiday blues or seasonal affective disorder. And a lot of us mutables will want to just sort of close off and close away. That may work for some of them, but it isn't for all of them. But the idea could be that there are people who have certain conflicts that they should definitely not accelerate.
I would say this, you mutables are change agents of sorts. You can change your persona as needed. So what I would suggest to you is that maybe you could reasonably, without allowing your emotions to overwhelm you, argue your case, and also show that you strive to do better. Be diplomatic. Accept what you're given, and then be diplomatic about it, and find out how you can be better for, in the future. I think that's the only way you're really going to win here.
All right.
Shall we go? I mean, I sort of went.
I thought we did, actually. I thought we were doing the follow-up.
Not exactly, because
okay.
So basically, though, all of this is relating to, a bad attitude, shutting yourself down emotionally, or getting too over-emotional about some choice mover decisions others have made against you.
And I like to think, once again, that it is maybe related to the holidays, the pressures of the holidays, the opportunities, the challenges.
Well, I just think a lot happens at the end of the year, so it could be anything for a number of people. Like I said, it's grading for students, it's performance evaluations, and let's not forget, the end of the year is when a lot of companies want to lay off or pink slip people.
Yeah.
So, or early retire them. For example. And so, you feel boxed in, you really, basically your challenge is to get out of that mode, or maybe, as Mr. O said, maybe you need to kind of put a barrier around yourself of protection of some sort.
Well, and the other thing too is that this is at times a card of how you perceive yourself. And so maybe this is saying your perception here is really what you have to work on. Is there an opportunity to look at the glass less empty?
And you know what? You enjoy learning lessons, mutable signs. That's one of your superpowers as well. So take in the lessons of what is happening to you now. Don't get upset about it. Take in the lessons so that you can turn this lack of success into a victory later, Maybe there's no win right now, but you can turn this around someday and make a better life for yourself, or make a better situation for yourself in the months to come.
And I'll just close by saying that this maybe just says some endings are not really the desired result.
Yeah.
You know, some victories are not meant to be.
Yeah. And maybe even if it was something that you wanted, it ends up not being what you hoped it would be. I mean, that can be an empty victory as well. Well, good luck to everybody. You know, it's going to be kind of a rough period, and it's no surprise because this is the holiday season and everybody gets stressed out. There's all kinds of things going on. Try to find the balance, find time for yourself to unwind.
Find a kitty to pet.
Find the joy in the season, because that really is what it's supposed to be about. So take care, Sagittarians. Happy birthday to you. We're so happy Sassy graced our presence today as our therapy cat of the day. She's kneading the air here as I rub her stomach. Take care, everybody.
We'll see you in about another month.
We'll see you when the sun turns into Capricorn, which both of us have our moon in.
Yes.
And happy birthday to our son, who is a Capricorn.
But while it's still Sagittarius, happy birthday to all Sagittarians. Take care.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.